you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias.
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What looking to talk, give me funny lad.
Grammy Award winner Maya joins us.
How are you?
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat, Brad Gilmore.
Y'all know Brandon Jenner. Brandon Jenner from the famous Jenner family. Son to Caitlyn Jenner, the Olympic gold medalist. And, of course, he's been on shows, like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which I know we've all seen before. I know that family gets a lot of slack, but they're some hardworking people. And I actually have nothing but respect for the Kardashian clan and for the Jenner clan. And so shout out to all of them. And Brandon Jenner joins us this morning. He's got a new show called Banded on Access Television, which is a really cool concept. I love, back in the day, Diddy's making the band and making people walk for cheesecake and things like this. But this concept of a show is really fun and interesting because these people have no prior relationship to each other, and then they got to do this competition. He's going to explain it. But I really enjoyed the conversation with Brandon Jenner here on the show, so we might as well get to it right now, talking about Banded. Here's Brandon Jenner. And he's joining us right now. I'm really excited to talk to him about the new music series Banded, which is set to launch May 13th on Access TV. He is Brandon Jenner. Brandon, man, how's everything going out there in old Malibu, California?
It's pretty good. It's early and a little bit dewy, but, it's nice. I'm happy to be talking to you, Brad.
No, I'm excited to talk to you about this show, Banded. Let the people know exactly what Banded is and what we can expect when we tune in on May 13th.
Banded is a music competition show. We selected 25 incredible talents from all around the world, and we invited them to Nashville, where they competed every week to basically win the show. Nobody goes home. We made 5 bands out of those 25 musicians, and they competed with original music every week. So they had to write a song and then perform it at the end of the week on show in front of a live audience on a big stage. And honestly, they blew our minds. I mean, these kids, what they were able to do. I say kids, but they were young people. And what they were able to do was absolutely incredible. So we're so proud of the show. We think it's going to be a great success, and we can't wait for people to watch it because it was a really fantastic experience. The music is stellar. They all worked with mentors, producers, songwriters that helped them kind of like define their sound, define their look, and also help them write these incredible songs. So the songs are great. The musicians are top notch, and I just can't wait for people to see this roller coaster of a ride.
Now, were these musicians that you selected, were they already bands existing, or did you put them together after you've kind of casted them, were they then put together as a band?
They were put together as a band. So basically, what we did is we selected 5 drummers, essentially. Out of a whole bunch of drummers, we narrowed it down to like the 5 best. Out of a whole bunch of bass players, we narrowed it down to the 5 best, which were pretty essential components to a band. And then the rest of them were kind of multi-instrumentalist, singer, songwriter, rockers type that would switch up instruments and play a little bit different. So they all formed 5 complete bands. And they had never played together before, and they didn't get to choose the bands either. This was something that we kind of thought, you would be great with them, and with them, and with them. And that's the way it went down. So, and by the end of it, honestly, they were like a family. I mean, the bands really came together. They looked like a family of 5 that were on a mission to win this show.
Well, and the reason I ask that is I find that incredible because I've been in a band. We've been together now a decade or plus, maybe more than that. And sometimes you get in the studio and you have this great inspiration. You write the song, you record it within the same hour. It sounds beautiful. Everybody loves it. But in the same respect, you can have those studio sessions, and I'm sure that you can relate to this, where you sit in the studio for hours and hours and hours, you fiddle around, nothing comes of it, and it's unproductive. I can't imagine the pressure cooker that these people are in because they've never played together.
That's funny. It feels like my experience every day, sitting in the studio twiddling my thumbs going, what do I do? But then, of course, what happens is that you sit and you're patient, and inspiration isn't something that is just kind of hit you out of nowhere. What it is something that you have to really go out and seek, and you have to be open to it. So, listen, these guys absolutely blew us all away. The songs that they were able to write were incredible. I mean, absolute hits, and they came together. Some of them would have weeks where they would shine, and then the next week they would maybe stumble a bit, right? They wouldn't have as great of a song, or they weren't necessarily on brand with the type of song that we were looking for that week. And so, you saw these, every band had very high moments and low moments. And that's what, it takes for anybody to write music is, you can't expect that everything that you're going to do is just going to be a hit right out the gate. You have to explore and experiment and try things. And along the way, you're hopefully going to stumble on something that people really connect with.
You're absolutely right, man. And I love watching shows like this, and I love going on YouTube and just looking at musicians in studio and getting to see those moments where they capture that. I don't know if you saw the Beatles documentary they did, I guess that was last year, where you could see them trying to figure out the songs, and then there's Paul in the background, coming up with all these great hits that we know and the Hey Judes of the world. It's really incredible to capture people in this element. Do you think that you would thrive in this environment if they threw you in as a contestant?
I would hope so. I would hope so. I mean, it was I tell you what, I didn't envy them during the experience because while they had those high moments, I mean, it was a slog. Like to be living, they were all living in the same house together. They were all, with the pressure of having to perform at the end of every week. I mean, they were writing every single day and rehearsing every single day so that they could, do this performance on a big stage in front of a live audience at the end of every week. I mean, this was a very difficult task. So, my job felt pretty easy, just, being the host and being able to so it was a little bit of a break from the pressure for me, honestly. So I wasn't envious of the situation they were in, but that's what makes people great is to really dive in full steam and, feel the pressure and work as hard as you can on something that you're really passionate about. So, like I said, I was so impressed with these guys.
Man, I get nervous. I get nervous for them just thinking about, I have to write the song with people I've never worked with before. And then not only do we have to write it and feel confident enough in it, then we got to rehearse it, practice it, and get ready to give it to a live audience. It's a really incredible concept. And, I don't think there's been build band shows before where we've seen, people famously, Diddy's making the band and things like that, but nothing, I think, at this level. And I'm really excited for everyone to check it out. Again, it's called Banded. It's going to be on Access starting tomorrow on May 13th. So make sure you set your DVRs or tune in to the premiere. Brandon, man, I really appreciate you taking the time. Last question for you. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult, but if you have your one go-to album is what? What's the album that you always listen to no matter what time it is? You can go from track one to the end.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I got to be prepared for things like this. Let me think. It would probably be Ben Harper's first record that he put out. Welcome to the Cruel World.
Love it. Love it, man. Well, hey, Brandon, thanks for taking the time, man. Congrats to you on the show and success. I'll be watching. I know the world will be as well, man. Thanks for taking the time for us this morning.
Thank you, Brett.
Hurry up, tape running out.
Oh,